A lot of you have seen pictures of my front of house rig and asked a lot of questions. So today I thought we'd just take a closer look and see how I put all of this together. So the rig is really built for touring. It needs to be quick to set up and tear down. So let's pop the hood and have a look. So yeah, obviously it's the Waves Classic. I have a modular system and I can change seamlessly between the Classic and the modular using the same front of house case. So when coming to, say, a festival, there are 3 steps to go through, and the first step is setting up the screens on the side. Next thing is to connect everything, so let's just turn this around. So here's a combined cable with, let's see, we have a network for control and the sound grid. So let's pop this into the control network and one of the sound grid ports. And this is for the analog EQ. Then we have 4 cables for Qlab. So this is kind of house music and other things that I might want to run through Qlab, like so. Then we need power and HDMI for this screen running a Mac and a PC. And then also, let's see, USB power and HDMI for the second screen for the LV1. And believe it or not, we actually need power for the LV1 as well. So let's use this one. All right, that's all the connections. Let's power this up. Yeah, so within just a minute or 2, I am up and running. So let's have a closer look to all of this. So this screen is just an extra screen for the LV1. So, and this is a touch screen. So I basically have the channel page on this screen and then everything else on this. So this is pretty straightforward. It's a 14-inch, kind of cheap touch screen. I will have a link in the description to the actual screen, but basically any touch screen will do the job. On the back here, I have a flat VESA mount and then just a small rig arm clamped to the side of the LV1. On this side, it's basically the exact same thing, except for this is not a touch screen, but it's the same flat VESA mount with the same small rig arm. This one is connected to a switch inside, and I run a Mac and a PC also inside, and both of them will show up on this screen, and those are controlled by mouse and keyboard. And I also have a Stream Deck for controlling tracking. So in the back here, I have a PC and a Mac. Let's start with the PC. Let's switch this one. The PC is running Reaper for all multi-tracking. I have the Stream Deck to control all of this. I could obviously just use the keyboard and mouse, but if I switch to have the Mac on the screen and then also have the keyboard and mouse controlling the Mac, then I can still control Reaper from Stream Deck and just have a look here that everything is running without having Reaper up on the screen. So the Mac is doing a few things. First of all, I'm running Smaart, and I have a mic for Smaart, also attached to a small rig. You will see a lot of small rig arms. Back here I have an XLR for for Smaart connected to the sound card that we will have a look at. And this I can just clamp wherever I want. So let's, for now, just clamp it over here. And then let's turn on some phantom power and turn up the gain. And then we will see some, if we just choose this input, we will have some things going into Smaart. So that's one thing. The other thing is I run, let's see, Qlab. So this is for testing the PA and doing house music, intro music. And as you saw, I have 4 channels going from the sound card into the LV1. So I can run a stereo channel with music and also things like time code, voice guides, and things like that. Then on the Mac, I also have the control. Let's see, let's bring all of this down. I have the control for the Carnaby HE2, which is the control for this EQ or harmonic EQ. It's a digital controlled analog harmonic EQ. So basically a 3-band EQ, but I can make changes on the actual hardware and or do changes on in the plugin. And the sound of this is absolutely amazing. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, it makes things sound full and big and powerful, and it's really a really good analog harmonic EQ. Sounds absolutely phenomenal. Right, so that is what you see on the screens. Now let's have a look in the actual rack. Right, so, well, first of all, the case is a 12-unit shock mount case from Ton. And on the top here, I have the Audient Evo sound card. So this is, I believe, 8 in and 8 out. Then there's a drawer for mouse, keyboard, the Stream Deck. Then here's just 2 quick connections for the PC and the Mac if I want to connect a hard drive or a USB stick or something like that. And here's also the switch to switch between the PC and the Mac. Then just a blank plate. On the back side is the switch. Then I have the Carnaby EQ. A drawer for, well, a lot of things. The screens, cables for talkback mic, shoutbox, Olo, headphones, of course, a brush to keep things clean, an access point, Qlab's dB meter, sound bullet, stuff that can be handy. And at the bottom, there's a battery that can power all of this for like 15-20 minutes. So if I lose power, everything will stay on for a while we fix the power issue. All right, let's have a look at the back side. So on the back, we have behind this door, we have the Mac, an old Mac Mini, and a PC, and the KVM switch. Then we have the managed switch, and I will have a link up here how I set up this switch both on front of house and up on stage. So basically I have 2 trunk ports, so 2 cables going up to the stage, running 2 VLANs, one for SoundGrid and one for everything else. And then I have 1 more SoundGrid port, and then 1 more control port, which, and this, I often use this access point to get Wi-Fi for the iPad app. So this can be just put like this with a small rig arm, of course. Then just a brush, so all of the cables will go inside during transportation. So cables will be in here, and then just a power strip at the bottom, which is connected to the battery. So anything I connect to this one will also run from the battery if we lose power. All right, that is the rig rundown. Let me know if you have any questions.